Hello, welcome to Awesome Bros, and welcome to the first edition of 2021 of BrewCrap with Craig. Craig, welcome to 2021.
Yes, Happy New Year, everybody. What up, Chris? The first Total BrewCrap of 2021, the first argument of the year. Chris, what are we going to be arguing about tonight?
It's going to be a spicy one.
Well played.
Yeah, that's a good point on it. But we're talking spicy because we're talking about chili peppers in beer, peppers in general. It's not a food that I enjoy gracefully, but in beer, I do think it fits well. But I do want to debate with Craig on this because Craig hates them so much, and bringing in Eightful Craig in 2021 is something that I wanted to bring along and to feed the fire that feeds him into this eightful trend towards those graceful chili peppers. Do you want to start off with your arguments, Craig? I got the timer ready for you if you want to start. I'm
ready,
no
my
problem
friend.
with that. So
You tell me when, let's go.
1 minute in 3, 2, 1, boom.
Boom. First of all, I just want to make it clear, I actually really love chili peppers, jalapenos, all that shit in food. When it comes to beer, no, I don't want to drink a curry. I want to drink beer. I want to be soothed by the gloriousness of the brew. Now, can they be used well in beer? For sure. I've had decent pepper beers before, but I just don't want that spicy burn in my throat when I'm drinking. That little earthy vegetalness sometimes that they contribute, that can be okay. But for the argument here, I'm not looking out for those beers. I'm not looking for a pepper beer. I'm not looking to be burnt. Those flavor profiles don't work that well. Typically they're in stouts, I would say. I've had them mostly in. At best, it's okay. So, I just don't feel it's necessary. I feel like, what would you even really pair it with? It's, it doesn't really contribute that much. Does the sweetness cut it out? Whatever. You know what? Fuck peppers.
And we're done. Yeah, I think it's good arguments, Craig. I'm surprised, actually. I wasn't expecting that you were a fan of chilies. I don't know, but...
Oh, you didn't know that? Okay.
You're an Aussie, right? I think my
them.
daughter is trying to get in here. I'm just going to say hi to her.
Hey, what up, Leah?
Hello. Some of you.
Pops and Bros is for the children.
Cuckoo. Easy.
Where's she at? Bring her on.
She's right here. There you go.
Oh, what a cutie.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Beep, boop.
Oh my god, she is so cute, bro.
Yeah.
Does she like peppers?
What?
Does she like peppers?
Do you like peppers, Anne? No, she's not a fan of peppers. But she likes beer, though. She likes beer.
I knew she would. She's a glitter beer person for sure.
I'll do my 1 minute with her in my arms. We'll see.
Do it.
Yeah,
That's cute.
Yeah, let's do it. All right,
that means,
perfect.
that's not fair. That's cheating. You're going to win.
I'm going to win because of that. Perfect. So 1 minute to say good things about chili peppers in beer. Boom. All right, so chili peppers in beer. It's one of the first adjuncts that we've seen in the craft beer market, and I guess it's because it's an easily accessible veggie that we can easily purchase at the grocery store and put them in your beer to make them more unique. And Craig, I know you're a fan of innovation, and peppers in beer are innovation, and I'm a big fan of those in stouts. I would probably argue with you that in other style of beers like blondes, they don't really belong in them, but I do think that in stouts they do shine perfectly, creating flavors like a nice smoky aroma, but also that dark licorice flavor that sometimes pairs very well with dark chocolate and those fig tones that you can get in darker beers. So that would be my arguments. I do think that they belong in beer, much more natural than those other adjuncts that we have on the market at the moment. That will be it. I'm already done for it, Leon. That was fun. Yes? Do you have something to say? Say something to Craig.
Hola. Bonjour.
Beep boop. Yeah. Boom. I'm pretty sure the diaper is full.
Oh, that happens.
Yeah.
Ooh, lucky you got out of that one.
Yeah, it smells. My girlfriend just got what I said in English.
You got it?
Yeah.
She's like, God damn you, Chris.
Yeah, she just said "goddamn you, Chris" in French, but yeah, that was perfect. So where were we with that? The debate.
We were watching you cheat with the cute child.
Yeah, it worked, right?
It worked.
It worked?
You got a
Do I
one
get
up
an
on
extra
this one,
point
bro.
for that? I do think
Yeah.
I get an extra point for that.
I think it's fair.
So starting off, I would argue that those chili peppers are a very cool, natural way to enhance your beer with those adjuncts. You can play a lot with those aromas and like putting them in a Mexican stout, playing with different peppers. They can create different aromas, just I would say like coffee does in beer. Craig,
Yeah.
what do you think about that?
I feel like you made some good points. I'm definitely, the way you describe the flavors and what it does, I absolutely understand. So, okay, a couple questions. So, for you personally, do you like when the beer burns your throat similar to food? Like, do you enjoy
no.
that?
I hate that. I hate that in food and
Okay.
I hate that in beer.
Okay, so when you're saying you like peppers in beer, you're mostly just talking when it's sort of balanced and it contributes, maybe that vegetable vibes. You said the licorice, which I didn't think about that. That's an interesting point there. I also obviously have to bow down to the innovation. You mentioned it. I obviously have to respect it because I've tied myself into innovation. So you got me there, you bastard. So yeah, okay. So you don't like them when they burn. You just like them generally in beer. But okay. So do you go on?
To be more in depth with that, I do think that the industry learned to play with peppers just like we learned to play with coffee. If you take a look back at the old school pepper beers, the ones that breweries were putting actual jalapeno peppers in them and whatever, they were just, I guess, closer to salsa or whatever, not even closer to beer. I do prefer them when they're like blended but also thought through with the aromas of the actual peppers, what they taste like, what they add to it, and also paying attention to the Scofield
Scoville?
level of the pepper, making sure, just like IBUs, that you don't push too much of it in your beer to make it too hot, too bitter, or whatever. So I do think that it's a fun adjunct compared to what we're already being tired of seeing in the market, which would probably be a good other subject further down the road for BrewCrap, which we won't get involved into this debate because we're talking about peppers. But I do think that it's a fun adjunct that deserves to maybe be brought back a bit more into the beer industry at the moment, especially for Mexican stouts. I do think they have nice character, nice warmth, and it's like a blended, nice, spicy hot cocoa with the warmth of the peppers, but also the warmth of the alcohol. I do think that it belongs in the beer scene at the moment.
Right. I actually, when you mentioned that, I just had a thought. Third Moon, at the time of filming, just released a Mexican stout as part of their Bestowed series. So that's a good point with that Mexican hot chocolate vibe. So I feel like they're like, maybe could you argue they are an acquired taste? Like you have to sort of, like you're not, if you either don't like peppers or anything hot, or if you're just not familiar with Mexican hot chocolate, perhaps, because that's really what they're doing, aren't they? Like they're trying to replicate that.
I would say I would like agree with what you say about that, because I personally really eat in food in general. Like like jalapenos is pretty much my limit of like spiciness level and whatever. I know you eat spicy, I don't, but I do enjoy like eating tacos and whatever, but like it's never been my go-to. But playing it with beer, I do think that it's a cool way to experiment a new adjunct, because you have levels of complexity in each of those peppers, different peppers, from where they're growing, the way they were. I think they can charge them with like the fire thing. I don't know if it's a proper way to say it, but like the way they're prepared, I do think that there's a lot of flexibility and creativity that can be brought around and brought upon with those specific adjuncts, compared to maybe just lactose, that it's pretty much the same thing and you just dump it into the beer without even like changing the way you transform it or play with it. It doesn't have the same flexibility, which I would say that this is where chili peppers can shine into a beer.
That's all completely fair, particularly like any other adjunct. There's not much you can really do. But I guess when you look at like the charring the chili peppers, that's a good point because it gives that the smoky heat. I would probably say on the negative side though, there must be a niche. Like I feel like there must be similar to smoked beers where there's a real niche of people who love them. I don't think there would be a lot of people into it. Right, yes. So that's something else we're going to definitely have to cover on here because I genuinely don't like them. So I feel like just like smoked beers, the pepper beers have got to be a less popular style. So that's probably why you don't see them so much. And when you do, it's kind of like what Third Moon are doing. It's a pastry stout. It's a one-off release. I'm curious to try theirs because they built it into a pastry stout. All of the chili pepper beers I've had have typically been imperial stouts. I don't think I've had one that's even a regular level stout. So I'd be curious to see what difference it makes to put it in a pastry stout that probably has lactose too, because that sweetness I imagine would cut some of the heat. So it would all depends on how much they put in really and what kinds of peppers and stuff like that. So
I would agree with you on this because I do think that chili peppers in beer need body. If they don't have body, I think you're pretty much screwed because you'll feel too much of that eat. I do think that plays a counterpart into your beer. It would create a tin mouthfeel because of it. It adds some sharpness and thinness to it.
And they would probably be quite oily, I would imagine as well. So there'd be a lot that would cut head retention if there's too much oils in there because maybe they have to prepare it in a certain way to reduce the volume of oils so that it doesn't ruin it. But
it would be a challenge definitely because of the protein. Oh, nice. Yay! She's playing with tools on my tripod while I'm filming.
Oh, of course, that's what you need.
Start a YouTube channel. Try to do recordings while you're
with
on
a child.
Zoom call and a child. She's leaving, so by her on her own. Bye bye.
She's cute, so it's okay.
Yeah. And now she's. Woo! So, where were we?
Okay, so the other thing I was going to bring up, something like lactose in a pastry stout. I know I don't want to talk about lactose too much, but the lactose might actually give it a bit of extra body that you were just talking about on top of cutting some of that sweetness down. So maybe if they overdid it with how much they had in the beer, the lactose would probably trim that down a little bit and come back to that sort of sweetness, contribute to the body, and play into that real Mexican hot chocolate. Because when you said that, I was like, fuck, I didn't even think about that. That's probably what people are trying to create or recreate with these beers. So whilst I'm not a huge fan, once again, of the Mexican hot chocolate style, I've tried them many times before. I learnt Spanish in Melbourne probably like 15 years ago, and I used to go to this Argentinian cafe to take these lessons. And part of the lessons is you got this Argentinian hot chocolate where they get these little chocolate beads, and they were all different flavors, and one of them was a chili one. I think that was the first time I ever did it, and they just fill it up with hot milk, and you just kind of like mix it up. And I was like, why would you put chilies in a beautiful, glorious hot chocolate? I just never understood it, but I also haven't been to Mexico, so maybe I'll have a different understanding if you go there and you have this amazing experience and you try this crazy hot chocolate and you're like, fuck, that would be sick in a beer. So I think without trying that, I'm sort of mostly against it. Obviously for innovation, if people want to do it, cool, but I'm definitely not seeking it out. And I still have some in my cellar that I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever really gonna drink them.
Yeah, was it the Tempest that Brewery Tempest that you sent me?
Oh that yeah, we had those ones.
Yeah.
Yes, I accidentally broke one of those bottles, so I haven't tried it yet. I have one more.
Yeah, it smells good. I remember. I think I drank one of my 2 bottles.
Okay.
But again, I think like
how was it?
It gave it some like a warmth and odd that reminds me a little bit more of like cinnamon in general. So it was like a blend of spice, a little bit of warmth, and like the nice like chocolate just blending in. But again, it created a bit more thin body to the beer because of it. Like I would say that like you get the warmth of the alcohol, but also of the pepper. It thinned down the body of the beer a little bit too much to my liking in general when I'm drinking an imperial stout. But I do think that if it's done well, it's an adjunct that belongs into any brewer's handbook to play with it, experiment with it too, and get new aromas. And I would be curious to try maybe a lighter colored one, a lighter body one, just to see like how it performs. And I guess there's like chilies out there that have fruity aromas that would maybe pair well with an IPA. I'm not sure. I'm scared of thinking about it because I do think that they belong only in darker beers. But again, why not?
Interesting. Yo, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Maybe chilies are somewhat like hops, where they would actually have different flavor profiles to the point where you could use them in a beer like a tropical IPA, whether it's haze or West Coast. I feel like it would do better in West Coast because that bitterness might go well. Because the tropical fruit, it's just so soft, and if you just put chilies in it, it'll just be like ah. But I reckon if you had it in like a West Coast IPA where it's a bit resiny and piney, that the heat, if it was in the right level, like subtle but complementary, and if the peppers, like fuck, that's a really good point, and had a little bit of fruitiness, I think that could be quite good actually.
I think with all this, it could end up into a nice like blend and also very unique beer in the end process.
I like that. I would say that whilst typically I'm against them, but not like aggressively so. Like say like I probably hate them less than I'd hate Hefeweizens, like from the last episode. But I would definitely, I guess because we bought those two stouts. We got them one with a friend, we split it and got import type of thing. So I do have to try that one. But I would be curious to try what you just mentioned. That if like in an IPA, if someone could do it right, I would try it every time just to see how they do it. So
is it Wellington Brewery that does one? The can like super orange,
yes,
and there's habanero peppers in them.
You are 100% correct. Now I think that was supposed to be an East Coast or New England IPA, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't love it, but I think it was probably a little. Oh, and it had like pineapple or something. That was a smart addition, actually. So they went with the super fruity, acidic route to try and balance the peppers. I feel like I just didn't have the appreciation for that, and it was also a little. The pepper heat was a little high for me.
Yeah,
that was all.
I would say that's probably the downside of peppers or chili peppers in general. Like it does bring heat, and if you can't balance it, you can't handle it. Like I can't handle my heat in food or drinks or whatever. It's detrimental to me. Like I can't do it. It doesn't work for me. So yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So then our conclusion is, I guess we seem to be in the middle here, where we both have little issues with it, but like I'm not aggressively against it, but you're not like, yes, put peppers in every beer. So we kind of seem like maybe for the first time we might be pretty close to the middle. Because smoothie sours, you came around, but when I talked to you afterwards, you're still pretty against them.
Oh, I'm still against them.
Okay.
Like we're what a month and a half into this debate. I'm still strongly against them. But chili peppers, I would say that I'm a bit more in the middle. Like I'm joining you in the middle. We're doing the handshake in the middle.
Yeah.
Agreeing. It works, but not all the time. Cheers. That works.
Wow. This is weird, eh?
Yeah.
This is weird.
It feels weird. It feels weird.
Yeah.
I wish you were like that for copper beers or for Hefeweizens, but
we definitely have to do an episode of this for copper beers. It's a bit of an inside joke for now, but I think we should absolutely do one on that, and we'll explain it in more detail.
Yeah, of course. And if you guys at home have a suggestion for what we should debate next, then obviously put it down there in the description. Craig, do you have some final words for this great video? Live from my closet.
Yes, I would say to breweries trying to, or wanting to use chili peppers in beer, obviously do it. I'm all for innovation. Try and keep it balanced. Try and make it work. I would say if it's super spicy, maybe advertise it as such, because maybe someone like Chris who's into it but doesn't want it crazy spicy, it'd be good to know that. I think there should be some sort of discussion as to like, hey, this is very hot, or maybe it's mild, medium, whatever. Note the heat, if there's a way to continue to do that. Maybe the heat changes like other flavors in beer, so I don't know enough about it, but keep doing it, keep it interesting, keep innovating. Do it. Chris, what do you have to say?
That was a great brew crap, and we had a good debate, even though I got some distractions along the way with the camera. I do think it makes it always entertaining. I hope you guys are having a great time at the same time. I know it's not easy for everyone being confined, or you have a curfew or whatever. So hopefully those little videos that we're making makes you smile a little bit more and spend some quality time in front of your computer, TV, or phone screen with awesome folks like me and Craig. Definitely go check out BOS Podcasts at the same time. I do think they're worth stopping by. If you don't want to watch the screen, they're all available on your favorite podcast apps, which I do think is the perfect time to do it if you're working outside or inside. Put them in your ear while Craig's get it in ya. Was it a good?
That was good. No, you get it in your ear while I'm getting it in me.
Yeah, you're getting it.
You get it in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In me. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
Peace.
God damn, I was lost in this one. Whew. Yeah.